What is your name and where are you originally from?
I'm Veronica and I'm from Bolivia, La Paz, Bolivia.
When did you move here and why did you choose to come to America?
Moved here when I was 18 and for college.
What were some of the biggest challenges you faced when you first arrived? I know that you visited America growing up, but when you first moved here, I guess this is the longest time you've been here, right?
I guess just like getting to know people because here in Reno, it's either you're from Vegas or you're from Reno, so it's like it was hard to make friends.
Not as much diversity.
Yeah, plus I was really close to my high school friends because in high school it goes from pre-K to 12th grade, so I grew up with them.
Yeah.
Like since I was a baby, so.
Same students in your class?
And we were only a graduating class of 25.
Oh, so small.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How did you cope with those challenges?
Well, it was hard at first, but then I joined a sorority, and that was the easiest way to make friends, so that's what I did.
So that's anything else that you think helped living where you live, or different classes you took, different things you did, study groups or something? You think the sorority was the best?
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to make friends in class, but everyone's not very nice.
Yeah, totally.
Or open.
Yeah.
College.
Okay. What are some challenges that still face you today, and how are you coping?
It's hard to be away from home, especially like during the holidays or weekends. I know everyone doesn't live with their parents and they're like miss them, but they can go back and like on weekends or whenever.
Yeah.
Like for Thanksgiving, I guess.
Bolivia is much further away.
Bolivia is really far, so it's really hard to not see them as much, I guess. To not see my mom, especially.
What do you miss the most about your home country?
The food.
The food?
Yeah.
So, do you want to maybe expand on that a little bit? Like, what different types of food?
I don't know. We're really known for our cuisine. It's like worldwide, and I don't know how to explain it. It's just really different. It's not like Mexican food, like most people think that, but it's really different because it's from South America, and I guess it's a little bit like Peruvian food, except with no seafood because we're landlocked.
Is it like, you know how like America, we tend to have large portions? Is it smaller portions, kind of like in Europe, or is it about the same?
We have like a light breakfast, like we just eat like tea or bread or whatever, and then our lunch is our main course.
Okay.
So like that's like really really big lunch, and you get together with all your family, and they close like everything like from 1 to 3, like everything in the town is like closed. Like so no banks are open, like all the stores are closed, and like so you have to go back to home for that, and like you take a nap or whatever. It's like that's how it is in most countries except the United States. Like it's like that in Europe too. And then dinner, so you eat lunch pretty late, like at 2 or 3. So then dinner is like very light around 9. So like dinner doesn't really exist. It's not like here where dinner is like the main meal that you eat.
So I know you had mentioned your mom is in Bolivia still, and you live here with your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of hard to adjust living here with your dad, having bigger meals at night, or does he kind of?
No, I don't live with my dad. I live with the sorority.
Oh, you do? Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were doing
that.
No. But you've been eating with them, or is it kind
of? No,
fine?
I've gotten used to it. Yeah.
What support services, clubs, organizations, businesses, government agencies, family, friends, etc., have helped you transition into the United States culture?
I guess just like because I used to come here every summer, like I was really I wasn't like a culture shock for me because I already had been here.
Yeah.
I mean, some things were like the driving. There's so many rules.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And there's no freeways. I was like first time I've ever been in a freeway.
And you have your license here.
Yeah.
To drive, and that was. Is there anything you think maybe like an organization to help teach different driving techniques or something would help?
No, I think it's just like practice, and then like I said, my sorority like really helped me integrate really well, and then my dad because he's American.
Yes.
So.
What are some things that you like the most about living in the United States?
It's really convenient. Like, it's really easy to live here.
Like to get to places, or like just to in general?
Just like overall, I guess yeah, to get to places, like, it's really convenient. But there's like a Walmart open 24/7. Like, that would never happen there, and it's like, I don't know. It's really easy to live here. It's
Everything's accessible.
Everything's accessible
to everyone, pretty much.
Yeah.
If you have family living here now, how are they adjustable? I guess that doesn't count with you because your family that lives here now is American, correct?
Yeah. I have a cousin who came here with me.
Oh, how is he adjusting?
Well, 2 cousins. Well, they're both fine.
They're both fine.
Yeah. It was
Are they your same age?
Yeah, we're the same exact age.
Okay.
And I think it was a little harder for her just because she didn't have family here, so she didn't come. Like, she had my dad, but she only came here once before.
So it was more of a culture shock.
So it was more of a culture shock for her.
Okay, and then you have your mom living abroad and other family, I'm assuming. How do you communicate with them and how often?
With my mom, like, almost daily, I call her. And then...
So you have an international phone there? She has an American phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's kind of like Vonage. Do you know Vonage?
Yeah.
Okay. And then with my grandparents, I rarely talk to them. Like, I talked to them for my birthday like 2 days ago, and then that was it.
Gotcha.
And then with my uncles, I guess I talk to them like once in a while, but mostly with my mom.
And that's pretty easy for you to do. That's good. How can people prepare for life in the U.S. before traveling to the United States? So friends back home from Bolivia, like, what would you, if they've never been to the U.S., like, how would you...
I would just say, like,
tell them to prepare.
Don't get your expectations too high, because, like, abroad, like, the United States is, like, this, like, ideal country. And so, like, people who come here, they expect, like, everything's going to change. Like, I don't know, they just have, like, this unrealistic expectation. So I would just say, like, it's not perfect. Like, there's still problems. Like, you still, like, face, like, a lot of, like, injustice and
unemployment.
And so, like, to keep that, like, to not expect that your life is just going to be, like, wonderful once you know, it's just, like, unrealistic expectations.
Yeah. Okay. And how was it growing up in Bolivia being a U.S. citizen? So since you were born here, you're a U.S. citizen, and I'm assuming most of your friends aren't. Did that give you any differences? What growing up or today, like?
There was. Well, I kind of grew up. I went to an American school, so there's a really small community of Americans. So I guess, like, having that is, like, really nice. Like, having connections and
so you were around people similar to you. Okay.
And then, but I definitely, like, you can't speak English, like, around town or anything. Like, you'll get really judged, and, like, so they don't like Americans.
They don't like Americans. Okay.
So it was something to, like.
So your friends who weren't American that knew you were a U.S. citizen, did they judge you at all for that?
I mean,
a little bit.
Yeah, I think so, like, a little bit, but not, like, so much where I was, like, suffering for it, you know. But it was definitely something you have to watch out. Like, it's kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
If you're, like, flaunting that you're American.
So people can be discriminatory.
Yeah,
very discrimination, like verbal and physical. Like,
I don't think, like, I think physical maybe just, like, they expect that you have more money because you're American, so then, like,
I could see that.
Like, so they would maybe, like,
rob you or mug you.
Yeah.
They discriminate that way. Okay. You had mentioned at work that it's harder for you to travel around in South America or other places because you're a U.S. citizen versus being a Bolivian citizen. How does that work?
Well, because my mom started working for the U.S. government, she had to give up her, like, are Bolivian passports because you can only have like alliance to one country. And then it's the same thing. It's kind of like they're very prejudiced towards Americans because they know that Americans who travel have like a lot of money. So then if you have like a passport from Bolivia, which is like the third world nation, it's so poor, they won't charge you for visas. But if you travel with your American passport, they'll like charge you $100 or like, so it's a little harder to get visas from places if you're American.
So growing up traveling, did you ever go anywhere with friends that you had to pay extra for?
Yeah, like my senior trip, I was like one of the only people that had to pay for my visa, and it sucked because I didn't even know I had to do it. And they were like, oh,
last minute, like, so you ran into that problem. And I just also wanted to maybe have you elaborate a little bit about your mom working as for U.S. government, how that affects your culture shock coming here, or how did it affect you growing up being there, for the U.S. government?
I don't know, like I said, I guess because she worked there and then I went to an American school, like, I was surrounded by Americans all the time, and also my stepdad's American and my dad's American, and so that was not, I feel like I got best of both worlds, because, like, my mom's side of the family is, like, all Bolivian, so, like, they were always, like, be really proud to be Bolivian, be really proud to be this, and then, like, here with my dad, like my mom being a diplomat, she's like, you're so lucky that you have a citizenship, like you should like take that for granted, like you have to, like you owe everything to the States, so be proud to be American. So like sometimes it gets like really like confusing, especially like I remember during elections, like people would be like, why do you care, like you're not even American, like it kind of hurt because I am.
Yeah.
And then I feel like it's the same way when I'm in Bolivia, they're like, you're American, so it's like I can never like,
which one do you align with? Yeah.
And I read about it too. It's like really common for people who are like double citizens to feel that way, like so confused over their identity.
Yeah, kind of push and pull, judgment on both sides.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's interesting. Okay, I think that rounds up our interview questions, and thanks for speaking about your culture.
Yeah.